Hey guys, it is Cheesy here, and today I'm bringing you an MLB 17 video. Now, following the home run derby and the All-Star break, I think it's pretty clear how amazing a player Aaron Judge is. It's pretty much impossible that the Yankees would end up trading him, in my opinion, but in this video, I'm going to be using the Suggest Trade feature in MLB's franchise mode, and I'll be showing you guys what MLB The Show thinks of potential trades for Aaron Judge. So in this game, Aaron Judge is rated at 87 overall and can play up to 90 overall or above with morale in franchise mode. His in-game potential is A, and so that means it's 90 or above. And I believe his exact potential is 98 overall, and so he's obviously rated very highly in this game. Now, despite Aaron Judge's high ratings, he doesn't have the most trade value in this game. I found that when you're looking at the value of players like Mike Trout, the best players in the league like Bryce Harper, their trade values are significantly higher than guys like Aaron Judge's. And so please keep in mind that while Aaron Judge is obviously a great player, he doesn't have the highest value in this game when we're looking at trades. But with that, let's get straight into the team's offers. So as I said earlier, I opened up the trading menu in franchise mode, selected Aaron Judge, and pressed square to see suggested trades. I chose to look for all kinds of trades for prospects and MLB ready players. First we have Baltimore, and so they offered one trade giving Jonathan Scope, the All-Star, Dylan Bundy was a young starter, and first baseman Trey Mancini. Now, all these players are obviously very valuable. I think they're pretty young and promising, but they're not quite in Judge's league, so I'm not too sure about how fair this trade is. But next up, we have Tampa Bay. They have offered two trades, the first one offering starter Blake Snell, who is young and has a potential, as well as right fielder Steven Souza Jr. And so, as promising as Snell is, I'm not sure if this would be worth it. And on to the second trade, offering Jose De Leon, Malik Smith, and Brad Miller. De Leon and Malik are both very good prospects, but they are around the same age as Judge and obviously not quite as good. Brad Miller, a second baseman, isn't really necessary because the Yankees have a pretty good middle infield. So I'm not sure about Tampa's trades, but let's go to Toronto. The Jays have offered one trade and three solid players. They would send Marcus Stroman, 22-year-old All-Star closer Roberto Osuna, and injured second baseman Devin Travis for Judge. Now, the Jays are my favorite team, but I'm not too sure if this trade would necessarily be worth it. Now for the White Sox, they have one trade offering the man himself, Yoan Moncada, and Miguel Gonzalez for Judge. Moncada is baseball's #1 prospect, and he's certainly valuable, but I'm not sure if he is fit for the Yankees. Next up, we have Cleveland with three trades. First up, we have center field prospect Bradley Zimmer and a starting pitcher prospect. Zimmer is the same age as Judge and clearly not as good, so on to the next offer. The next offer sends Tyler Naquin, center field prospect, starter Trevor Bauer, and a first baseman prospect. That's an interesting trade, and it kind of suits the Yankees' needs, but I am not too sure about it. Finally, for the third offer, we have Andrew Miller, Cody Allen, and a shortstop prospect. This is a really interesting offer because Andrew Miller is obviously one of the top relievers in the game, and Cody Allen is solid as well, so this would be probably not right for the Yankees, however, because they have Chapman and Betances, but this is interesting, although it doesn't really make that much sense. On to Kansas's lone offer. They have a left field prospect, Earl Mondesi, a young second baseman, and pitcher Matt Strahm. While the players are valuable, I am once again not really sure about this trade. Next up, we have the Twins-only trade offering young pitcher Jose Berrios and career twin Joe Mauer. In this game, Jose Berrios has a potential of 99, and so he's obviously a solid pitcher. This is an interesting deal, but I'm not sure if the Yankees really need it. Next up, Oakland has three offers, the first one giving shortstop prospect and pitcher Jesse Hahn. This definitely doesn't seem like a very good deal compared to some of the other ones we have seen. Trade number 2 sends shortstop Marcus Semien as well as young pitcher Jarrell Cotton and young third baseman Ryan Healy. All three of these players are solid, and it kind of does fit the Yankees' needs. Finally, trade number 3 sends young pitcher Sean Manaea, first baseman Mark Canha, and shortstop Jed Lowry. Sean Manaea is definitely great, but he's not quite worth it for Aaron Judge. Now for Houston, they have 3 trades, the first one offering Tony Kemp and center field prospect Teoscar Hernandez. They're both really solid prospects, but they're not quite in the same league up there with Judge. Trade number 2 sends young right fielder Derek Fisher and young starter Joe Musgrove, as well as a pitching prospect. These are a trio of solid prospects, and it's decent, but it's not quite a fit. Finally, trade number 3 for the Houston Astros sends pitcher Dallas Keuchel and a shortstop and center field prospect. Keuchel is definitely interesting, but I'm not sure if he'll be as valuable as Judge. Now the Atlanta Braves have 2 trades, the first one sending Dansby Swanson and a left field prospect. Now Swanson is really good in this game and turns into a great player, and while he is good, he is not as dynamic as Judge is right now. Now trade number 2 sends Ender Inciarte as well as a catcher and starter prospect. Ender Inciarte is a solid center fielder, and he would be a nice addition probably to any team, but I'm not sure he is as valuable as Aaron Judge. Now the Nationals have one deal, offering starter Joe Ross and third baseman Anthony Rendon. Rendon is really good, but I'm not quite sure about this deal. Now the Mets have 3 trades, the first one offering Noah Syndergaard and Curtis Granderson. Syndergaard is obviously a top-notch pitcher, and so this is a pretty interesting trade. Next up, we have Gavin Cecchini, a left field prospect, and Jay Bruce. Cecchini is a pretty high prospect, but I'm not sure if this is a totally good trade for Judge. Now for trade number 3, we have DeGrom as well as Cabrera, the shortstop, and a second base prospect. These are 3 pretty good trades offering great players, but for Judge, I'm not sure if it's worth it. Now the Phillies have one trade offering left field prospect Nick Williams as well as Aaron Nola and Odubel Herrera. Those are 3 solid players and would definitely make a difference, but not like Aaron Judge. Now the Cubs have 3 trades, the first with a young second baseman Ian Happ and starter Mike Montgomery. I'm really not sure about this trade. It's not really that great, especially compared to other ones we've seen. Next up, we have young shortstop Addison Russell and Uehara as well as a starter prospect. Not a bad trade, especially with Addison Russell. Finally, we have Javier Baez and starter Hendricks as well as a catcher prospect. This is really not a bad trade and maybe the best one out of the Cubs' 3. Now the Reds' lone trade offers the fastest man in baseball, Billy Hamilton, and 2 outfield prospects. I like Billy Hamilton's speed and defense, but I'm not sure he's worth it for Judge. Now Milwaukee has 3 trades, the first sending young shortstop Orlando Arcia and a young pitcher. Arcia is really promising and will probably be a great player in the future. I'm not sure the Yankees need him though. The second offer gives outfield prospect Lewis Brinson and starter Jimmy Nelson. I think I preferred the Arcia trade. Finally, for the third trade, we have a starter prospect and an outfield prospect as well as Eric Thames. Thames is obviously a great power hitter, but then again, so is Judge. Pittsburgh, in their first of 2 trades, offers Jameson Taillon as well as closer Rivero for Aaron Judge. Taillon is interesting, but I'm not sure if this would be a fair deal. The second offers young first baseman Josh Bell along with shortstop Adam Frazier. I believe the Taillon trade was a bit better. On to the Cardinals, they have one offer sending their closer O and young starter Alex Reyes. Reyes has potential to be 99 overall in this game, and so this is a pretty interesting trade. Now Arizona has 2 trades, the first sending outfielders AJ Pollock and Yasmani Tomas, as well as a starter prospect. I like Tomas and Pollock, but this isn't really the best trade. The Diamondbacks' second trade has a trio of pitching prospects including Archie Bradley and Braden Shipley. They are probably going to be great pitchers in the future, but they aren't good as judges now. Now the Rockies have 3 trades, first offering reliever McGee and young center fielder David Dahl. Not quite a great deal, although obviously Dahl has great potential. Now trade number 2 sends a catcher and starter prospect as well as their closer Greg Holland. As valuable as these players are, the Yankees don't really need another closing pitcher. Trade number 3 sends 3 pretty solid young players including shortstop Trevor Story, young right fielder Jordan Patterson, and reliever Carlos Estevez. All 3 of these players develop really well in the game and are pretty valuable, and this is probably the Rockies' best trade. Now the Dodgers have 1 trade and they're sending center fielder Brett Ebner and young starter Julio Urias. Urias has crazy value in this game, and like Barrios and Reyes, he has 99 potential. He is a really promising pitcher, and this is a pretty interesting trade. Now the Padres have 1 trade sending young center fielder Manuel Margot, as well as Corey Spangenberg and the all-star Brad Hand. As good as Margot will be and as good as the other players are, I'm pretty sure that this isn't a really balanced trade for Aaron Judge. Now the Giants' first trade sends catcher Nick Hundley and young shortstop prospect Christian Arroyo. I don't think this trade really suits the Bronx Bombers all too well. Second, they've offered a shortstop and third base prospect as well as starter Matt Moore. I like Moore, and this is an okay trade, I guess, for the most part. So that is all of the trades. Now, only 24 out of 29 teams had interest in Aaron Judge. I was interested in seeing if the Marlins would offer a trade, especially if they would include Stanton. But as good as Judge is, I guess not every team would trade for him. Some standout trades included Moncada, Urias, the Jays trade, and the Indians sending Miller and Allen. I was expecting really huge deals, but these were relatively tame. The Angels obviously didn't offer anyone, so there was no Mike Trout. The Marlins, once again, didn't make any offers, so no Giancarlo Stanton. And the Nationals didn't seem to offer Bryce Harper. I noticed mostly prospects being dealt, and I guess Judge is still young, but he is certainly playing really well. And that is pretty much it, so feel free to drop a comment on these trades and what you think about Aaron Judge. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe for more MLB content. I'm going to be uploading some unique MLB The Show videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.